Right after Pooh Shiesty's arrest in Music, the FBI raid on his home, things took a wild turn behind the scenes. Reports are now saying that Gucci Mane started panicking, allegedly sending a shocking video urgently asking him not to leak certain private information. With tensions rising and questions piling up, this situation is getting deeper than anyone expected. And in this video, we're breaking down everything that really happened. On the morning of April 1st, 2026, Music, a home owned by rapper Pooh Shiesty's family, was crawling with federal agents. The FBI was on site executing a search and arrest warrant. The images were all over the internet before most people had their morning coffee. According to local reports, agents stormed the home using flashbangs and loud commands. The home is in a Memphis suburb, and records show the house is owned by Lontrell Williams. That's Pooh's government name, and also his father's name. FBI agents have been going in and out of the home since at least 6 a.m. Wednesday, according to Fox 13 in Memphis. Let that sit for a moment. 6 o'clock in the morning. Flashbangs, federal agents. This is not a traffic stop. This is not a parole check-in. According to the Commercial Appeal, federal authorities obtained both a search warrant and an arrest warrant before arriving at the property. Music, suggesting this wasn't a routine investigation. The four-bedroom property was purchased in April 2023 for $656,500. After several hours, agents began making their way out, carrying monitors and brown paper bags, the kind used to collect evidence. Agents were searching the trunks of several cars inside the garage. Nobody from the FBI was talking specifics. Officials did not disclose who the warrant was for or what prompted the raid. Action News 5 confirmed that the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation was also present at the scene alongside federal agents. So, this wasn't just the FBI. Music, the state's own investigative bureau, was on scene too. Multiple agencies, one property. Now, here's a detail that complicates the picture further. According to Federal Bureau of Prisons website, Music, Williams was moved to a residential reentry facility in Dallas after his release from prison, where he is due to remain until April 11th, 2026. Traditionally, the rapper's involvement in a residential reentry program would prevent him from traveling to another state, and it is not currently known whether he was present at the Memphis dwelling when it was raided. So, the feds raid a house tied to a man who, on paper, isn't supposed to be there. They come armed with both search and arrest warrants. They leave with evidence bags and computer monitors, Music, and not a single official says a word about who they're targeting or why. This is a situation that has an entire industry holding its breath, Music, because the raid comes just 5 months after the 26-year-old rapper, whose real name is Lontrell Williams Jr., was released from prison, where he served more than 3 years of a 63-month Music sentence for firearms and drug charges. 5 months. That's all it took for Music, the feds, to circle back. And the person who is arguably the most at stake in Pooh Shiesty's career, outside of Pooh Shiesty Music himself, is the man who signed him, mentored him, and told the world he was his main slime, Gucci Mane. What Gucci has said, and more importantly, what he hasn't said in the aftermath of this raid, is the other half of this story. And to understand Music, why his response matters so much, you need to understand the bond between these two men, and the cracks that started forming long before the FBI showed Music up. The story of Pooh Shiesty and Gucci Mane doesn't begin in a boardroom. Music, it begins with a DM. After going viral, with hits like Choppa Talkin' 7, 62 God, which garnered over 19 million views, Shiesty was contacted by Atlanta legend Gucci Mane on April 10, 2020. Gucci Mane direct messaged Shiesty, Music, and shortly thereafter signed him to the new 1017 Records. At that point, Pooh Shiesty was a raw, unpolished artist in the streets of Music, South Memphis. His father founded the Memphis-based Mob Ties Records and rapped under the name Mob Boss, Music, welcoming Pooh into the studio at a very young age. Music was in his blood, but it was Gucci Mane who saw something in him that the industry hadn't recognized yet. Music. In a joint venture, he signed with its parent label, Atlantic Records, in April Music 2020. They first collaborated on Mane's single, Still Remember, along with its music video on June 19, 2020. The song became Shiesty's initial rise to fame and recognition. The partnership was immediate and productive. He released a single Monday to Sunday featuring Lil Baby and Big 30 on June 25, 2020. Music. All three singles appeared on Maine's fourth compilation album, So Icy Summer, which was released on July 3, 2020. Music. Pooh Shiesty was being introduced to the world as the centerpiece of the new 1017 roster, and the momentum was ferocious. When asked about music Gucci Mane as a mentor, Shiesty's admiration was unmistakable. He said, "I don't want nobody else. I couldn't name nobody else. He don't tell me nothing wrong. He knows what shoes I'm in, so his advice music be valuable." Then came the song that changed everything. In 2020, he released a single Back in Blood, featuring Lil Durk, which reached number 13 on the Billboard Hot 100. That track was inescapable. Music. It blanketed every playlist, every club, every car in the country. The ad-libs, the cadence, the energy. These include Twerksome, Monday to Sunday, and Neighbors. His biggest single arrived in 2020 Music, with his Back in Blood single, which is now 5 times platinum. In early 2021, Shiesty released his debut mixtape, Shiesty Season, which peaked at number 3 on the Billboard 200. For context, that's higher than some veteran artists' best work. This was a mixtape, not even an official album, and it cracked the top 3 in the entire country. It features guest appearances from Lil Durk, Gucci Mane, Big 30, 21, Music, Savage, V's Fujiano, Lil Hank, Choppa, _ Ente Keith. The bond between mentor and protege seemed unbreakable. Gucci Mane was the architect, and Pooh Shiesty was a crown jewel of his new label, the artist who was going to prove that Gucci could build superstars, not music, just be one. The label has signed mainly Atlanta-based hip-hop recording artists, such as Young Thug, Waka Flocka Flame, Pooh Shiesty, and OJ the Juice Man, among others. But the truth is, Pooh Shiesty was the biggest commercial success 1017 had seen in years. And then the violence started catching up. In July of that same year, Williams was involved in a shooting incident in Memphis, Music, when he was found to have been in the same vehicle as a person who discharged a firearm at a local gas station, according to Music, the Associated Press. That was July 2020, the same summer his career was exploding. Months later, he was arrested in Florida after another shooting incident, in which 2 people, Music, were injured. Authorities said that the shooting occurred during a robbery, in which marijuana, codeine, Music, and several pairs of luxury sneakers were stolen. On June 9, 2021, Williams was arrested again, this time in connection to a shooting at a strip club in Northwest Miami-Dade. 3 violent incidents, 3 different locations, all while Pooh Shiesty was one of the hottest rappers in the country. He was taken into custody yet again in 2021, after he was accused of shooting and wounding a security guard at a Miami club. The law caught up with devastating precision. On January 4th, 2022, Williams pleaded guilty to federal conspiracy charges. He was facing up to 8 years in prison. On April 20th, 2022, Williams was sentenced to 5 years and 3 months in prison. Williams agreed to plead guilty to conspiring to possess firearms in furtherance of crimes of violence and drug trafficking in January 2022 in order to avoid a possible life sentence, according to the Associated Music Press. That's the part people forget. A possible life sentence was on the table. As part of his plea deal, prosecutors agreed to drop 3 charges, including 1 gun charge that carried a maximum sentence of life in prison. The main slime was gone, Music, and Gucci Mane was left holding the bag. A label with its biggest star behind bars, with no debut album, and a 5-year sentence hanging over Music, everything. While Pooh Shiesty sat in a federal prison in Pennsylvania, the 1017 empire started showing cracks, serious ones. The shakeup at 1017 Records comes amid various challenges, including the recent deaths of artists like Big Scar and Enchanting, both of which were drug-related. 2 young artists dead. Additionally, others' music faced legal troubles. Earlier that year, Hot Boy West was sentenced to 15 years in prison, Music, for assaulting the mothers of his children. The roster was collapsing deaths, incarcerations, music, and financial hemorrhaging. Gucci Mane did what businessmen do when the numbers stop working. He cut the fat. The Atlanta Ledger revealed he had released all of his artists under the label, with the exception of Pooh Shiesty and Fujiano. In an Instagram video, Gucci broke the news himself. Music, explaining the decision was strictly financial. He said, "I just see my statement and my profits and losses with all my artists. You know, it's a whole bunch of shakeup and a whole __ show in the industry right now. Music, when I look at my profits and losses and me being a businessman, I think I'm going to have to release almost all my artists, except Pooh Shiesty and Fujiano. Think about what that music means. Every other artist gone but Pooh Shiesty, music, the one sitting in a federal prison, stayed. With both artists being the ones to achieve commercial success, it makes sense why Gucci would keep Fulio and Shiesty on 1017. This was not loyalty in the abstract. This was Gucci Mane saying in front of the entire industry, "I believe in this kid. He's worth waiting for." And then in October 2025, Pooh Shiesty walked out. Last night, Pooh Shiesty was released from federal prison early. In various videos shared online, the Memphis rapper could be seen celebrating his release music at a welcome home party hosted by loved ones. Attendees popped bottles of champagne as he flexed multiple stacks of cash. Gucci Mane was one of the very first people to acknowledge the moment publicly. Gucci Mane took to his Instagram story to revel in his 1017 signees' newfound freedom. Welcome home, music, Pooh Shiesty. The Mane slime is back. He wrote alongside some cold face emojis. Shiesty's lawyer was equally optimistic. Bradford Cohen wrote on Instagram, "Pooh Shiesty is ready. Wait until you see his comeback. Music, he will be bigger than ever. I am always glad to see a client start to climb back up to elite status. He always kept it 100. The government wanted 10. He got 3. He'd been ordered to pay $156,000 in restitution to victims from that shootout, a financial obligation that came alongside his release conditions. But with the buzz surrounding his return, that seemed manageable. The comeback was already underway. He dropped FDO, First Day Out, upon his release and had been generating significant buzz heading into what many expected to be a full comeback year. After leaving prison, Pooh became the first hip-hop rookie of the month for Billboard magazine, Music, and his track FDO peaked at number 12 on the Hot 100 charts in January 2026. Everything was lining up. The industry was ready. The fans were ready. Although Gucci's Episodes album came in a robust 23 tracks, his recently freed artist, Pooh Shiesty, didn't make the final cut. But Gucci confirmed he was still very much with the 1017 team. But behind the scenes, a very different narrative was beginning to form. One that involved rumors of betrayal, violence, and a relationship between artist and label head that might have been far more fractured than anyone realized. In January 2026, a wild rumor exploded across social media. Social media lit up with unsubstantiated claims accusing Pooh Shiesty of robbing and attempting to kidnap Gucci Mane. The allegations were specific. Adam22 said on No Jumper, "There's a rumor that's going around that everybody's scared to report on. And this is just a rumor, is that basically Pooh Shiesty and Choppa Gang ran down on Gucci Mane, relieved him of some of his possessions, and basically forced him to sign a contract releasing Pooh Shiesty from 1017. That rumor, whether true or fabricated, painted a terrifying picture. The artist turning on the mentor, using force to break the very contract that made him famous. Some claimed that Pooh Shiesty kidnapped Gucci and even robbed him of his ring. Gucci Mane's response was enigmatic. After the rumors began circulating online over the weekend, Gucci took to his own social media pages on Monday night to share a picture of himself showing off his jewelry. In addition to his jewelry, he held up a loose leaf pack and wrote in the caption, "We only roll diamond splits," while tagging the brand. That was it. No denial, no confirmation, no outrage. Just a picture of himself dripping in diamonds, calmly showing the world that his ring was still on his finger. Gucci Mane took to social media where he showed off his ring, noting that it was still very much on his finger. This was meant to be his response to the drama, and for the most part, fans left it alone. But the comment section music told a different story. One user wrote, "Wake up, they talking crazy about you on these blogs." Music. Another added, "This pic old __, and where's that watch at? I expect the truth part 2 by next week." Hip-hop figures weighed in. Adam 22 and Whack 100 discussed their thoughts on No Jumper. Both felt it was unlikely for the story to be true. Music. Whack 100 argued that it must be _. He referenced Pooh Shiesty's recent firearms case, arguing it'd be idiotic music to risk further legal trouble. "It's got to be some __, unless he's that damn stupid," he said. The theory at face value does strain credibility. Why would a man who just served 3 years on federal gun charges music immediately commit another violent crime against one of the most famous rappers alive? The risk-to-reward ratio doesn't compute. But then months later, Adam 22 appeared on DJ Vlad's platform and doubled down. Adam 22 claimed to have information to the contrary. Adam said that he spoke to Memphis insiders, and they seem to think there is truth to the rumor. Furthermore, Adam suggested that there were very few real responses to the rumor, and therefore, it suggests that everyone is trying to hide something. Ultimately, it is hard to discern what is true and what is false. Music. At the end of the day, Adam 22 doesn't have a direct line to Gucci Mane and Pooh Shiesty. Music. This may very well be one of those hip-hop mysteries that we never get the truth about. The kidnapping rumor wasn't the only misinformation surrounding Pooh Music Shiesty in this period. Earlier that month, DJ Academics falsely reported that the rapper may have returned to jail with a release date in April. He later revealed that Shiesty's record label reached out to debunk the story, noting that he is merely on home confinement until April. So you had a man fresh out of prison with a career-defining comeback underway, music, his name swirling in kidnapping rumors involving his own boss, and a steady stream of misinformation about whether he was even free. That was Pooh Shiesty's reality heading into spring 2026. And then, the federal government showed up at his front door. The question the internet is now asking isn't just about the raid itself. Music. It's about whether Gucci Mane, a man who has navigated his own tumultuous legal past, music, who has reinvented himself from trap pioneer to industry mogul, has finally reached the end of his rope with the Mane slime. Because here's the thing. When your biggest artist allegedly runs down on you, and then the feds show up at his house with both search and arrest warrants, music, your next move tells the world everything about where you stand. So what exactly has Gucci Mane said since the raid? Music. That's the million-dollar question. As of April 2nd, 2026, Gucci Mane has not issued a public statement about music, the FBI's raid on Pooh Shiesty's family home. No Instagram post, no Instagram story, no tweet, no comment through a representative. Just silence. And in the world of hip-hop, where every major event triggers a flood of social media reactions within minutes, that silence is deafening. But here's why people are interpreting Gucci's quiet as a message in itself. Music. Rewind October 2025 when Pooh Shiesty was released from prison. Gucci's response was immediate and enthusiastic. "Welcome home, Pooh Shiesty. The Mane slime is back." That message came the same day Shiesty got out. No delay. Music. No ambiguity. Pure celebration. Now contrast that with the current situation. Just months after returning home, Pooh Shiesty is already facing another serious situation involving federal authorities. Music, the Memphis rapper, who was released in October 2025 after serving a 63-month sentence on a federal gun case, is now tied to an early morning FBI raid at his residence in Cordova, Tennessee. And the man who publicly crowned him the Mane slime, not a word. Music. The hip-hop community reads between the lines. When Gucci celebrated Pooh's release, it was because the narrative was hopeful. Comeback season, redemption arc, new music. But when the FBI rolls up with flashbangs and arrest warrants, the calculus changes entirely. A public statement of support could tie Gucci to whatever investigation is unfolding. Silence keeps distance. And there's already precedent for Gucci cutting ties when the situation calls for it. On March 15th, 2013, via Twitter, Gucci Mane tweeted that he dropped Waka Flocka Flame, and that Waka was no longer a member of 1017 Brick Squad. The next day, Gucci's management claimed his Twitter account was hacked. However, Waka would claim this to be false and later dissed Gucci Mane at a Dipset reunion concert in New York City. That falling out was one of the most public and painful in hip-hop history. It taught the world that Gucci Mane, for all his loyalty, will sever a relationship when the math stops adding up, and the math around Pooh Shiesty is now deeply complicated. This development marks another chapter in what's been a turbulent legal journey for the Memphis artist. His previous federal case stemmed from a 2020 incident that resulted in serious consequences. And now, just months into his supervised release, he's facing renewed federal scrutiny. Consider the unverified kidnapping allegations from January. Rumors that Pooh Shiesty and Choppa Gang allegedly forced Gucci to sign papers releasing Shiesty from 1017. If those rumors carried even a grain of truth, then Gucci's silence after the raid takes on a different meaning entirely. It becomes less about keeping distance and more about letting the feds handle what Gucci himself cannot. No police filings, court records, or verified reports have backed up the kidnapping story. Yet the allegations spread rapidly across blogs and comment sections. If Gucci was truly victimized and chose not to go public, because going to police isn't the kind of move you make in his world, then the FBI showing up at Pooh Shiesty's house could be interpreted as a form of cosmic accountability or something more deliberate. But we have to be careful with that kind of speculation. Details remain limited, and the federal government has yet to clarify the scope of the investigation or who exactly is at the center of it. We don't know if the warrant was for Pooh Shiesty himself, for his father, or for someone else entirely who may have been using the property. What we do know is this: Pooh Shiesty's post-prison chapter is off to a turbulent start. A man who walked out of prison 5 months ago with the world at his feet, a Billboard-charting single, a legendary mentor backing him, and a fan base hungry for new music. Now his federal agents rifling through his family home and hauling out evidence. His early release placed him on home confinement with a supervised release date of April 11th, 2026. He was 10 days away from full freedom when the FBI came knocking. 10 days. The irony is cruel, the timing surgical, and Gucci Mane, the man who has been through his own transformations, from prison to ice cream tattooed on his face, to platinum records, to New York Fashion Week, knows exactly what it means when the feds show up. He has lived it. He knows the weight of handcuffs in courtrooms and the silence of prison cells. Upon Gucci Mane's own release from incarceration, he created a new record label, 1017 Eskimo. He rebuilt music. He transformed, and he chose Pooh Shiesty as the cornerstone of that transformation. Whether his silence now is strategy, disappointment, or something far heavier, only time will tell. As more information emerges, this developing story could take a clearer direction. But for now, the rapper finds himself back under federal scrutiny, just as he was beginning his return. What stands is this: the relationship between Gucci Mane and Pooh Shiesty has been one of the most fascinating dynamics in recent hip-hop history. It has contained mentorship, loyalty, commercial triumph, incarceration, unverified allegations of betrayal, and now a federal raid. Gucci Mane's message after the raid isn't the words he said, it's the words he hasn't. And in hip-hop, the silence of a man who always has something to say is the loudest message of all. The feds came, Gucci went quiet, and the Mane Slime's future hangs in the balance.